Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, as many of you know, I'm starting to work on cleaning up my garage, and I think this is really going to help. Well, today's kind of a cool day for me. I got this, it's from Fleximount's model GL1. It is a 4-foot by 4-foot garage ceiling storage rack. But not only is it a storage rack, but it also lifts and lowers. Now, I'm going to say right up front, they sent this to me to take a look at it and to put it up for y'all and show how it works. I have been looking at these for a while. As somebody who's handicapped, something like this has really appealed to me. And really, up until now, I didn't see that I could really afford one. But I will say this company, I am surprised. I can't believe they can make this for the price they're selling it for. They had a sale. I'm not sure if the sale's still going on, but I will put a price in the screen somewhere telling you what it was at the time I did this video. This is something I've been wanting for a while. And I'm going to show you why. So I built this here a while back after I took the loft. I used to have a loft in here, and it just becomes a pit up there where I'm just throwing things up there and trying to get it up there without dealing with being on a ladder. And then when I want to actually get something off of there, I have to grab a ladder, climb up there, and try and get the stuff out. And also, because of the way I do it, I end up burying stuff on top of other stuff, and then I look up there when I need something and I leave it there and I try and figure out a different way of doing it. So I actually started looking into this type of a system where this is a lift. It lifts it up and down for me. I don't have to get on a ladder with my bum leg and worry about hurting other parts of my body. So we are going to go ahead and take this out of the box, take a look at it, open up the box actually and take a look at it and see what is inside. So first of all, I'll say it made it here in pretty well one piece, which is good as far as shipping is concerned. If anybody's watching any of my other videos of unboxing things, they usually don't make it here all that well, and they definitely have beefy packaging on this. But yet again, I don't know how they do it. So I'm going to just put it out there. This is a US based company, according to the information I've been told. This does say made in Vietnam right here on it. But everything's made somewhere else. And then assembled here. From what I see, everything is well laid out. I got what appears to be some sort of double-sided tape or just tape in itself. All kinds of sealed nuts, bolts, screws, dealing with jiggers and brackets. We got the handle thing here, the main thing here, some more brackets and cable. So from what I pulled out, everything looks pretty solid in quality. So far I'm pretty happy with it. It does come with a solid cardboard, pretty thick cardboard template, which is nice. Paper templates are very difficult to deal with. This maybe will be a little bit heavy, but it should, once I get it up there, work really well for me. So now the next thing we need to do is actually figure out where we want it. I started thinking that I wanted it over here in this corner, but I do believe by measurements that if I decide I want to bring my lift forward or back, because my lift moves, that forward I would be, if I put it in this area, not only would it kind of interfere with the shelving I have here, but also my lift, if I needed to bring it up for some reason and lift a car up in this area, I think it would just interfere with me being able to use my garage the way I want to be able to use it. Besides, we have, I believe it's 12-foot ceilings here. Now this rack is actually meant to be for 9 foot or less, I believe is what it is. And I've seen people put it in taller ones and it comes down far enough you just wouldn't be able to bring it all the way down to the ground like they kind of intend it for. The other thing I thought about was right here, which I think would actually work really well, but my garage door is maybe a foot from the ceiling here. I have this here, as I walk in my garage, I believe it's an 8-foot area right here from ceiling to floor, and it goes all the way the length of my garage that way. So I have decided, I believe anyways, I'm going to put it right here where I have this rack of wood. So we got that up there good. I was able to tape it up pretty solidly. I think the 3 there are pretty good. The one over here, I am worried a little bit that I do think it's going to be this way a little bit from where it's supposed to be, because of the way that board that's going up underneath there is kind of pulling it towards the camera, so to speak. Maybe a 1/4 inch or so. So I may do a little bit of adjusting to that particular one right there. But the main thing is to make sure I'm hitting the joists. I need to go ahead, I gotta drill some holes here, and when I'm done drilling them, I'll know if I'm gonna actually hit good meat that's gonna hold this weight up. Unfortunately, it's a couple days later, and as you can see, my template, other than one piece right there, is no longer there. I got kind of a late start, and then me and my wife were going out on a date that night, so I kind of ended a little bit early, and unfortunately going up and down the ladder kind of took a toll on my leg, so I took yesterday off after that, and the tape didn't hold for 2 days. But I think in the end, since I have to do it all over again, I'm going to do a couple different things. I'm going to go ahead and remove this thing. So I got to get that down and unscrew that, and I'm going to probably move the light a little bit more as well and figure all that out. So since I have to do it all over again, I might as well do it more right this time. Also, another thing I'm going to do is drill some holes and make sure of exactly where, I should say holes, and make sure exactly where the structure is that I want to screw into, so that I make sure that template ends up on that for sure, because I was kind of questioning whether or not I'd end up having to resituate that whole template anyway. So since I'm doing it twice, I might as well do it right the second time instead of makeshifting it like I did the first time. I had my wife hold this up, and I went ahead and kind of made sure that this truss here was where I needed it, because I wasn't sure how far this came in. I think there's an actual 2x6 going across this right here. I'm not positive on that, but where I had it last time, I was able to take this piece here that I had to tape back on because it was still up here, and I drilled where the bracket would have went, and I would have been about 1.5 inches too far off that direction. So I made sure of where this 2x4 truss is up here, and while my wife was holding that here, I made sure that that fit perfectly there, and I believe it's going to work good over here as well, based on, I haven't finished this at all, it's all just taped, so I can kind of see where the screws are going in at. But regardless, then I just took some sheetrock screws and actually screwed this up here, which I think if I would have, before I started this, went up here, put a screw here, here, and here, and I knew exactly where everything was going to hit, I could have done this by myself, but I wanted to make sure that those were in the right place. And I'm not positive in the front here. I still have to put the brackets up there, mark those, and drill and make double sure that I'm going to hit something there. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm not sure. This was just kind of stick built, this whole building, I believe, and I'm not sure if, you know, some of these things over here were exactly right on, dead on 2 feet. They might have went a little bit further. I'm not positive. But there's definitely a truss here, one right here, and I'm hoping I did when I hit the screw over there. I'm not sure if this screw actually hit anything, so we'll see. The rest of the screws all hit stuff, so I'm hoping that'll work. Let's see. So in this box, underneath where the hardware is, there are brackets. Now these brackets are actually going to be the furthest away, so I'm going to go for these ones. There's another set over here. I do not see anything that is marked left or right, front or back, or anything like that. But based on the template, you can kind of see which ones go where. So we're going to take this. I got my pencil. It says to use a pencil. So since this is the one I'm kind of questioning whether things are going to work or not, I'm going to go ahead and put that up there. But you can see this has kind of a cross. Same over there, and then those other two have, I'll say, more of a coffin look to them. I don't know how else to explain it, but they definitely have a different look than this, and it's quite obvious that these go up here and fit into this area right here. I don't see that it matters what direction this goes or which side this goes on. So I'm going to fit that in the template here where it's supposed to go, and I'm just going to draw these out. Here. And these are elongated, so in the end you will be able to, don't put them up tight right at first. I wouldn't put them up there tight, but you should be able to kind of move them back and forth and side to side a little bit if you need to adjust something just right. Then here's this bracket right here. You'll see that it's got kind of a cutout right there, a little half moon shape. That shape is built into the template over here. So now we're taking what they're calling tapping screws. I would call them leg bolts. And the big square brackets here, and make sure that the half moon shape, yet again the cutout, is facing towards the other bracket. You want those facing each other up here. And I'm just gonna take this and start it by hand here. What I can of it. And if you're lucky enough to have an impact with a 13mm bit on it, use it. If not, you can use a ratchet. Yet again, I'm not going to put it all the way up yet. I'm going to make sure these are all in and adjusted somewhat towards the middle. I should mention also they have a washer on them, which I missed on the last one. I want to make sure they have a washer and the screw. Now it's time for this thing here, and I need to rotate this, which is getting kind of a bummer. Alright, so that's going to make life a little bit harder. So I'm putting this side in first, I hope. And then hold up here in the middle, and this will slide that way. Okay. And then it will not slide in. There we go. Alright. There we go. So definitely hold in the middle, slide this out as far as it is, but that's not going to just slide in there. You got to kind of hold on to this so that this part slides here too, and then that should stay for now. Then you got 4 of these right here, and it comes with the tool to put these in. Side note, I do believe it also has a tool to put the leg bolts in as well if for some reason you don't have tools to do this. So now these ones, there's a couple of obvious places where they go. They kind of go through a hole in the bracket on both sides here and go into a threaded portion that's actually on this part here. Now these are just to kind of keep you from being able to pull it out of here or it from pulling out, so they don't have to be completely reefed on or anything like that. They're not really holding weight. So just snug those up. Good enough. So the next thing we got is these right here. They're kind of button head ones. And those go into a place in the bar here, which I gotta say, as of right now, won't work here. But I can put it in this one right here. I don't believe this matters what direction anything goes. Now that's there, this middle bar, yep, should pull over, and this one will go in now. And it comes with corresponding nuts. These are lock nuts, or nylock nut type thing. Then it comes with a small Allen head wrench here. And then this is, I believe this would work if you needed to use it for some reason to put these up in. It's a 13 millimeter. These also do not need to be reefed on. Get this on here, I need to move that back now. Alright, now to just keep these from falling out. I'm going to start pulling these out. And there's 2 things it says. Make sure first of all, you don't have them twisted up here. Second of all, the black is always on the outside on both sides here. And then you got kind of a wound up cordage that's shorter and a wound up cordage that's longer. Take your longer one here, and that one's the one that's going to go through the front pulley. Alright, now I'm going to take and put my thumb through the middle of this so I know it doesn't get too tangled up. And then this just goes through the pulley here, in theory. There we go. And I'm just going to let this go all the way down, making sure that the black one is on the outside and the kind of clear cable one is on the inside. And when I go to finish this off, I'll make sure these stay this way the whole time. One big thing here, we have to make sure that the gearbox here, the part you spin is facing backward, and there's a lockout here, and make sure the lockout is kind of forward. Make sure the gearbox is where I have my gearbox, is what I'm trying to say, based on where your pulleys are. If you get this, if I was to put this on that side over there, it would not work. So you got to make sure that this is on the right hand side, as if you're facing the same direction as it. Hopefully that makes sense. So I see a lot of people kind of struggle with this part of it, and it doesn't say anywhere to do this, but I don't like bending over or working on the ground. So I got the sawhorses here, a 2x4 and a 2x6. You can use whatever you can find. I did realize, because I was going to just use the sawhorses, but it wouldn't be wide enough, so that's why I'm using the 2x4 and 2x6 here. I got these sitting here to put the grate on, and like I said, I see a lot of people struggling with this, so hopefully this will work here. Another little thing, it does talk about making sure that the side with the most wires is facing up. I can kind of see what they're talking about. That makes it kind of difficult, but in my case, yet again, these labels are excellent. It says right here, this side of the wire deck should face upward. So we're there. Right here, there's a hole, and on the other side, there's the same hole. You need to make sure this wire rack, when all said and done, is leaving those open, because that is where these go through. We got these right here. They're kind of a J-hook looking thing, kind of a hockey stick looking thing. And then we got these here, which they have a built-in washer or flange on the outside of them. So these ones don't take a washer. And they are also 10 millimeter. So all said and done, that wrench that is provided also will work for this as well. And I decided I'm going to use a wrench to kind of snug these up for now, because I don't want this thing to flip around and smack my finger or something. And yet again, just snug, not tight. And in fact, I am going to actually go ahead and just, before I finish snugging those down, make sure that these are all where they need to be. And yet again, I'm just going to put this in here just kind of by hand until I get these kind of a little bit of weight on them and make sure everything's running the way I want. So that goes in the corner there. Then you got your washer and your lock nut here. So I have not tightened these up yet. I have the mesh tightened to the outer braces here, and I have these snugged good enough. I'm sure they're not going to completely fall apart and fall out. So I'm going to start removing stuff here. Alright, so I got the weight, a little bit of weight. I just put the sawhorses right on top of it here for now. Now I want to make sure that these are not crisscrossed, and that the black one is out. So right here we are definitely crossed, so I'm going to turn that, make sure the black one, whoop, I went the wrong way, is facing out. So we got the clear ones on the inside here, black ones on the outside. We got them so that nothing is twisted around anything else. They're not running on top of each other. Also, make sure that it's not tight yet. I have not tightened the eye hooks or eye bolts, whatever you want to call them, on all four corners here yet. It comes with the handle and a wand here, and we're going to hook that in over here. We got this black switch kind of thing here. It's just a safety. It makes sure that this piece right here, hopefully you can see that, does not turn at all. So when things are up in the air and you're ready to be done lifting it, then you'd want to flip this closed so it locks that out so that it can't slowly or can't fall down at all if there's any kind of problem whatsoever, or if this gets bumped or whatever. So we're going to unlock that for right now, and that just flips back like that. And then we got our hook here, which we're just gonna hook right in. So we got that hook there. We got the end of it here. There's kind of a metal bar sticking out of the bottom of the black piece. There's a way to hold this on, and I do believe this adjusts up and down, which I'll probably mess with later, but I'm not gonna worry about it on this. And then there's this piece here that goes on, and there's a screw that's left in the box there. Just a small Allen head screw that I believe will go up into here. I think there's already a captured nut in there of some sort. But that makes it so that you can take this and screw it on up. So that's using this. That's pretty slow. It'll work if you don't have a drill or something like that, but I'm going to check this in my drill. It actually says it's okay to do that, and we're going to get this to go up a little bit quicker, and we're going to finish this off. So if I start out with these all the way bottomed out against here, I'm going to check it for level, and then if it's not level, I can raise or lower these based on my level to kind of level this out. You want it as level as you can so you don't have, you know, it tilting obviously and a bunch of weight over here. You also probably, when you're loading this up, need to be aware that you're not loading all the weight in one specific area. You want to disperse it. After it's all said and done, I have everything leveled where I want it. It comes with another set of locking nuts here, and you're supposed to double nut these, so you want to lock this nut in. And we're going to come down. I got this loaded up with, that thing's pretty darn heavy and that's fairly heavy, so figured they kind of offset. These two things are fairly light. They kind of offset corner to corner. I'm going to slowly just kind of hang this up here on the weight, and I'm going to leave it overnight and come in the morning and hopefully finish this video off without anything on the ground. It appears to be holding stuff right now. Like I said, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not concerned about the lift that we have here at all as far as holding this weight. This is well under 300 pounds. The thing I am more concerning about is the rafters I have this hooked to are kind of stick built, and I believe these front ones is a sideways 2x6 and then a 2x4 on the outer edge or something like that. I don't know. I haven't got up there and looked. I probably should have got up there and looked. But regardless, I could feel me drill all the way through whatever that piece of wood is. And it felt like a 2x6 turned sideways or a 2x4 turned sideways. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. As far as the machine's concerned, right now I am ecstatically happy here because I've been trying to figure out a place to put a lot of this junk. Some of it's stuff I need to get rid of, but some of it's stuff I need to keep, and it was all in front of my Mustang here. So hopefully I won't have to move all this crap every time I want to try and do something on my Mustang, which will hopefully get my Mustang further down the road here. So as far as the Mustang, I go check out my playlist on my channel, and I have a playlist for every project that I have. So go check out my playlist. That's the best way to be able to find what you may be looking for. Well, I got it all put together. As you can see, I got it loaded up with some stuff. It was quite easy to put together. It was surprisingly easy. And I'm actually going to keep the handle handy here so I can kind of get that right where I want it, because once I get that up where I want it at, you'll pull this out, and up in here there's a lock that locks that in. Now you could just leave that hanging there. I don't really want it in my way, so it's going to sit up here on top here as well. For the price that it cost, I am very surprised with the quality and the easeability, I would say, of putting this thing together. I'm not worried about what I put my weight into here. So that is definitely something you need to think about is, yes, this can hold up 300 pounds, but is what you're hooking this to going to hold that weight, or whatever weight you're going to put into this, 300 pounds or under. Just you got to be aware of those kind of things. And just because this can hold it doesn't mean the structure you're mounting it to can, so you got to make sure that it can. Well, I want to thank Fleximounts for sending this to me and letting me put this in my shop. It is really going to help me out. I also want to thank all of you for watching this, so hopefully you got something out of it and enjoyed it. Now get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one. Alright. 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 Am I going to figure this out? Alright. 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 And then the horn goes off. I don't know if you heard that. Alright. So we got the clear ones on the inside. I'm never going to get through this.